Hi, good morning. My name is Elias Gurmu. I'm a co-founder of Buunni Coffee.
And I'm Sarina Prabasi, also co-founder of Buunni. The idea of Buunni really comes from when Elias and I lived in Ethiopia, and coffee originated there. Coffee, it still grows in the wild. There's a big culture of coffee, and also in many other countries. And we wanted to bring that feeling of home, the feeling of hospitality, of coffee, when we moved to our new home in Washington Heights. I think when you're when you're starting a new business in a new city, there are a lot of challenges. You don't know you don't have a network. You don't know a lot of people. You don't know exactly, even culturally, there's a difference. How is business done in New York City versus how is business done in other places? So there was a lot to figure out in the beginning.
Buunni was established in 2012, and our first location was opened in September 2012. And we have 4 locations, all in Washington Heights and Inwood. And then we just opened our roastery in Hunts Point, Bronx.
One of the challenges that we faced in roasting our coffee was that we had to drive from Washington Heights to Brooklyn to roast our coffee. Every week, so many weeks in the year, half a day of just driving without any roasting, just the traffic and everything. So we were really hoping that we could open our roastery in Washington Heights and Inwood, but coffee roasting is considered an industrial activity. So with the zoning, it was difficult to find space. And then we thought, okay, closer to us is the Bronx. And there's a connection between Uptown and the Bronx. And even with customers, with the community, there's a Uptown and Bronx connection. So we started looking in the Bronx. It took us a year to find space. But now it means that not only we can roast our own coffee, but for other people who are in a similar position like us, restaurants, other cafes, coffee shops, if you are going long distances to roast your coffee, it's not very convenient, then we're opening up our space for other people to come and roast their coffee too.
When we moved to Washington Heights from Ethiopia, it feels like a home. People are very welcoming. There's a lot of cultures involved with from different parts of the world. And it's really amazing. We feel sometimes, when I grew up in Ethiopia, I have a business when my parents, reside and stuff like that. And then everybody knows me. And Sarina's worried was actually, how do you survive in New York life? But Washington Heights is different. And we feel like sometimes a celebrity, in our community, in our small space, it feels good.
So we are members of the Washington Heights and Inwood Chamber of Commerce. And one of the reasons why this is important is because as business owners, we can get so busy in the day-to-day. We just figure out the delivery, we figure out this and that. We're always in our own world. But it's so important for us to lift our head up and connect with other businesses. Who's doing what? Maybe somebody can help me. Maybe somebody has the answer to a question, or maybe I have the answer to a question somebody else is looking for. And also, as Elias said earlier, when you're starting a business, there are so many resources in the city that we don't even know about. And the chamber is a really good way of connecting small businesses like ours to resources, making introductions, and even one really important event of the chamber that I personally really like is the policy breakfast, where we get to know what is happening in the city. What are the decision makers doing? What are they planning?
The advice we can give for someone who wants to open up their own businesses, first thing is to understand what to take on the city, the programs we have. There is a lot of free programs. They can help you. They can, understand what you are looking for, those resources to look at it, understand also the community, understand what you're serving, and what's the culture, what are people are looking in the area also. That's one of my advice. I think Sarina might add one.
One thing I want to say, the first thing I want to say to the Washington Heights and Inwood community is really thank you. Because we started our business here in 2012. We're now in 2024. There have been challenging times in between, but we are still here. And that's really because of the community. And, we have 4 cafes now. We're all the way from the GWB bus terminal up to 207th Street in Inwood. And it's a space for everyone. Relax, bring your friends. We have some nice events as well. We have an open mic. We have different events. You can bring your ideas. You can bring your talents. It's a very talented community. And then as our business is growing into the roasting and the roastery, for other businesses in the Washington Heights community, we also invite you to come and take a look. Maybe if we can be helpful for coffee needs, we're here.